Hello, and welcome back to Added Answers. So you're probably wondering why Alex got up. About that, I was supposed to go see some choir by my youth, but when I got there's no one there. So then my mom is going to a business thing, and if you've seen most of my shows, you might have heard in the background, but I have a child, and she's basically like, yeah, I don't think it's for children, but why? There's always children at any aquarium thing. That's just how it is. Like parents aren't just gonna leave their children at home; they're gonna bring them. And mom's gonna be like, yeah, I'm sorry, there were children there, but hopefully this video will help me calm down. So let's get straight to the points. Military, part two. Last time I told you that I'm joining the army, and I told you about enlisting in the army. Now I will tell you about life in the military. So, the first thing you need to know is military terms, acronyms, as you will. So, about face. If you've seen any parade with the army, you'll hear something like about face, left face, right face, march time march. So I'll tell you what those mean. About face means where a person or a group basically pivots, not just turn, but they pivot on their heel and turn in the opposite direction. March time march means when they stop marching, no, when they stop moving and march in place. Left face basically means that they turn to the left. Right face, same thing, but to the right. Forward march means they start marching. ACU is an Army combat uniform. This is basically what you'll see your recruiter wearing when you go to meet him or her. If you do plan to join the Army, either Air Force, either Navy, other Marines, or any branch of the military, you will see them in their ACU, Army Combat Uniform. There is AWOL, which means absent without leave. Basically, if someone is AWOL, the next step, I think, will be just want to be discharged, because being AWOL basically means that you left out of nowhere. Like no one knows where you went. Not no, you left without permission. You left without telling someone. So when you come back, you're in deep shit. That's basically what that means. Okay, Bravo Zulu. Bravo. It just means good job. Like when basically, like if you were at a performance and you clap and say bravo, bravo, just like that, but it's Bravo Zulu. There's also, let me see, Bubblehead. Someone serving on a submarine are in the submarine service. Dolly. This is a nickname for a first year Air Force Academy combat. EOD. Explosive Ordnance Disposal. These people are responsible for the safe handling, deactivation, and removal of unexploded ordnance. Basically, the military version of the bomb squad. EPW, Enemy Prisoner of War. File 13, the garbage can. Galley, the kitchen aboard a ship. Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, the U.S. Naval Base. Head, the bathroom latrine aboard our ship. Humvee, high mobility multi-purpose vehicle. Humvee. IED, improvised explosive device. This is basically homemade bombs made in the military. IRR, Indivisible Ready Reserve, which is the reserve portion of the armed forces. GTF, Joint Task Force. Medevac. This is moving a wounded soldier from the battlefield using appropriate and authorized ambulance equipment. MOS. If you are if you are if you are in the process of joining the military in any shape or form, you will hear this term a lot. What MOS do you pick? Oh, what's your MOS? MOS stands for Military Occupational Specialty, or job classification. So, for example, me, I have many MOSs that I want. There's musician, there's human intelligence corrector, there's counterintelligence agent, there's paralegal advisor, and there's civil affairs specialist. Each MOS has its own code, like 35D, 30MW. So when you get your MOS, you won't say, oh, I'm this. You probably say my mod code is this, but I'm not sure because I haven't chosen mine yet, so I'm not sure, but I'm assuming. Okay. There is NCO, non-commissioned officer. So, and anyone can, yet although that there's requirements of being an officer, anyone can become an officer. A civilian can become an officer. A soldier can become an officer. There's commissioned officers, and then there's non-commissioned officers, which is what NCO stands for. Then potential candidates, officer candidates, they go to OCS or OTS, basically a school for officer training or officer candidates. HUA or HURA or URA. This is basically Army chair. You know how cheerleaders at high school, at middle school, some people in college, they have their chair. The military also has their own chair as well. However, in this case, is also a verbal greeting as well as an expression of enthusiasm. So if someone says, "Hooah," you say, "Hooah" right back at them because it's also a greeting, a verbal greeting. Yes. PCS, permanent change of station. If someone has PCS, they have relocated to a different station. So let's say I was stationed at Dallas with the 9 PCS. That means I'm no longer in the Dallas station, and now I have moved to wherever I have been told to move to. PFT. If you are about to go to basic training, you'll probably hear that term a lot. PFT. Oh, well, how do you do on your PFT? When are you going to? When do PFT? What about PFT? PFT stands for Physical Fitness Test, which, as I have learned, is basically the final exam for basic training. If you don't pass this, you don't pass basic training, and you can't continue on. However, what I've learned is that they do practice runs in the beginning and during basic training to get you prepared, which is what I need, by the way, badly. So there's POC, point of contact. For every matter, there is someone a specific person who can help you with that matter, or a person of contact, which is what POC stands for. Okay, let's see. PT, physical training. This is, oh, my stomach hurts. Okay. This is what Basic training is all about physical training, training your fitness, training you physically and mentally. Because I'm going to quote from one of the recruiters that my recruiter works for. You could be in the best of shape. However, if your mind is not open, then basic training will suck even more than it's supposed to. Because basic training is supposed to suck. Basic training, analogy I can use for basic training is for Nigerians is when your parents like your parent has like a strainer of peanuts and they're going and they're shaking it up and down and then blowing on it. What they're doing is taking away all the shaft from the peanuts. The shaft is the weak. In this analogy, the shaft represents the weak people, people of weak-minded, people who crack easily. Because we can't have people who crack easily in the army because they will be in charge of they could be in charge of information like locations, times, dates, whatever. And if they crack like that, then we're doomed. So the peanuts left inside the strainer are stronger people, people who don't crack as easily at all. Speaking of basic training, if you are if you're watching this and you're in basic training, remember the drill sergeants are not yelling at you. They're yelling at everyone and they're trying to see who will crack. So don't let that be you. Because hopefully this week I will be enlisted and shipped out. But I'm privately hoping I'll be here by next week because I need to train some more. So let's see, what else is there? ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps. There's also JROTC, which I don't know what that stands for. Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps? I don't know. But basically, these people will probably go to high schools, middle schools, and colleges trying to recruit people. Do not be afraid. If I can do it, well, if I'm going to do it, me, who always tell people I will never, ever, ever join the military, I'm not joining the military, then so can you. Sandbox. If someone tells you we're in a sandbox, that means you're in Iraq, another desert area like the Sahara deserts, or basically a place where it's nothing but sand and it's extremely hot. SEALs, the United States Navy SEALs. SEALs stands for Sea, Air, and Land. It's SEALs because the S and E in sea makes up the C in SEALs, and then the A makes up the A, and then air makes up the A, and land makes up the L. So it's a U.S. Navy SEALs. TAD, TADTDY, temporary additional duty / temporary duty. But this is basically an extra thing that you could be given, but it's not permanent, it's temporary. Top side, the upper part of a deck, unauthorized absence. This is basically the legal, I'm going to say the legal term for AWOL, which stood for absent without leave. Either way, if you have AWOL or if you have a UA, you're in deep shit. UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. This probably means we're being spied on because it was unmanned. That means that the person manning it because it's far away. But that's That's just what I think. Anywho, let's now go to military life. Here we go. So there are two types of jobs in the military. There's active duty, and then which is full time. Then the reserve, which is part time. So, like I said before, physical fitness is a big thing and a big deal in the military. In any shape, in any branch of military, you will hear about physical fitness. Basic training, which I told you before, is all about physical fitness. After basic training, so if you're about to be sick and watching this video, I am telling you this directly from one of the recruiters who works with my recruiters now. Prepare to be sleep deprived for the first 72 hours or 3 days. So if I were you, I would get as much sleep on the plane as possible. Because 15 hours is a lot of sleep you can get. I know that, and don't be like, oh, I can handle it. I doubt that. Just get sleep. You can't go around with sleeping on the plane. Like, they can't leave you on the plane. They have to. Someone has to wake you up and say, hey, we're here. Also, speaking of before getting sick, for us girls, your eyes makeup on, don't bring makeup. Don't bring this. Don't bring wigs either. Are these nice shirts? Nothing you see on me now can be brought. Why? Because one, you will have to carry your bag and a duffel bag. So if you're carrying, so if your bag is already heavy, and the duffel bag is probably going to be heavy, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So only being with other passengers and maybe a couple extras if they are extremely necessary. Makeup during basic training is never necessary. Neither is wigs or nice clothes. Actually, nice clothes, I would suggest bring like 2 or 3 outfits for church if you plan on going to church, that is. But if you're not, then no. Then it's really not. Okay, so once you have passed the PFT and graduated from basic training, then this is coming from someone that knows my recruiter's husband. But right after basic training, you'll be shipped off to your AIT or your advanced advanced individual training station. This is your job training. So this would be in a classroom, whereas basic training will probably be in a like field type area. So housing. Oh, by the way, the Army has an app where you can learn more than what I'm telling you. It's called, obviously, U.S. Army. Let me show it to you right now. See? That one right there. U.S. Army. Right there. Oh, that's my friend right there. She's adorable. And then open it for you. See? And it has, this app is basically a virtual tour of the life as a soldier, housing, community, recreation, basically stuff like that. And like, this is basically this app will basically give you a hint of the life as one day in the life of someone in basic training, and two, once you finish basic training and finish all your other training and are now working at your post. So, I'll talk about housing. So, when you're at basic training, you'll be living in a bed. And FYI, it's not like I thought, which is probably what you thought. It's basically a room this big, because this is a big room that goes from here all the way there, every couple of yards. That's lined with beds. It's not like that at all. It's like a dormitory, but each person has their own room that's equipped with. Actually, I think you have a, a roommate, but like it's not like a room lined with beds. It's basically a dormitory. Actually, an apartment because I believe you have roommates. So after you do all your training, then you have the option of living on base or living in an apartment, a house, a townhouse, or single-family house off base. If you live off base, you have to pay for where you live. However, they'll give you AOH, which stands for Allowance on Housing. So they'll help you pay for housing. The Army help you pay for a lot of things. They help you pay for new uniforms. They help you pay for school. They pay off your loans. They help a lot. They have a lot of benefits. So yes, basic training is suck, but it's meant to suck. But after you pass basic training, I'm telling this to myself as well because if I'm sick this week, then I'm gonna need this myself. So like I was saying, after you pass basic training, the rest is over. The rest is over. Because AIP won't be as strict and as in your face as basic training. The on-the-job training probably won't be as bad as basic training either. Also, another thing to keep you motivated is all the discounts you will get once you finish all this training and are now a military soldier. Like I believe in the mall at the mall, you get discounts in every single store, or 90% of stores, as well as places outside of the mall as well, basically anywhere. And not only that, but your children will also go to school for free. You know how much saving that is? So that's over $100,000, depending on the school. I could help it. Yeah. If your children go to boarding school, it's gonna be more. But basically, your children go to school free, and then for your grandchildren to get this benefit, your children will also have to join the military as well. But but the benefit, the military has so many benefits for you not to want to join. The only reason people be might be worried about joining is because of all the myths they have. So that is what I'll talk about now. Myth number one: Jewish soldiers during basic training are yelling at you, and they are trying to make you feel like shit. They are not yet yelling at you. They are seeing how well you do under pressure. They're yelling at everyone, so don't take it personally. It's not. Like after this, you'll be laughing at them thinking, wait, but is the one that was off in my face a couple years ago? But it don't matter because after this, they'll be your best friends. Myth number two: Um, oh, let me open the Army app. This one. Okay, do you see this? Do you see this? That is a barrack. As you can see, it is nothing like the myth of barracks being one huge ass room lined with beds. As you can see, there are many windows meaning many rooms. That is windows belong to. As you can also see, there is there is a tennis court, oh, a basketball court. Basically, it is nothing like you see in the movies and in the TV shows. So, myth number three: military basic training food is just a glop of what should be food. That is not true. It's actual food. I'm not telling you this because I haven't. I'm telling you this because someone else told me that it actually looks like food. Like not like you give this to the landlady and she just scoops up something and plops it there. It's not like that at all. Okay, let's see. Oh, myth number four. Deployment is only for combat reasons. That is not true. Like if you've ever been in a hurricane or a tornado, if you've ever if you've ever stayed home during a tornado or a hurricane or any type of natural disaster, you will have seen many military personnel help people who have been stuck in the natural disaster. Deployment is for many reasons. It could be emergency help. It could be for combat reasons, but it's not only for combat reasons. It could be to help other military personnel elsewhere. There's actually many reasons why people are deployed. Okay, let's see. Any other myths? Oh, physical training. Okay, this is a myth, but this is something that might make people leery of joining the military. Yes, the physical training part is hard, but if your recruiting office has training sessions, go to those because that will tell you how in or out of shape you actually are. Me personally, I'm out of shape, and after this video, I will do some I will do some push-up standing up as well as oh, let me tell you about that. So I did my first my first training session at my recruiting yesterday, and it was very informative because I learned about different types of exercises like mountain climbers, which is basically when you bend over with your hands on the floor and then you just it's like have you seen people when races where their hands on the floor and like one leg is okay. It's like those bicyclists who doing the marathon. It's like that, but no bicycle and you're on the ground. You still move your legs in the same way, but it's like this. I like this. I could do bicycles where your feet is like this, Basically, the mountain climbers are supposed to work out your legs. And then there's push-ups, which for us females, we can, if you're out of shape like I am, you can start on your knees and then just push up and then to push up that way. To help strengthen your arms, which is what I'm going to do, is do push-ups on, on the wall. Basically, put your hands on the wall like this and then just push up. And then the sit-ups. However, if you can't get it all the way up, I, the ground is too hard for you, just do crunches. Because push-ups and sit-ups are meant to also work out your abdomen or your abs. So see, then there's half jacks, which is where your arms aren't like this, they're like this. So it's like 1, 2. Okay. Also, running. Get used to running. Like if there's a mall near you, or if possible, if you can run around the neighborhood, do that because you'll be running a lot, like very very much. Don't get me training. So this is all to say, do as much as you can before basic training, so that when basic training comes, it won't suck as much as it won't suck as much because you've already been training. So in my next video, I will answer any questions you have about my previous videos, any video actually. So this is it. Bye. Oh, before I forget, okay. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Adam Answers. If you like what you saw, subscribe to my channel, Adam Answers. I also have a Twitter, Aviz with a Z, I believe. Actually, let me make sure. Because I have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. So my Facebook page is Aviz Answers with an S. Instagram, Aviz Answers. At Aviz Answers, one word, with an N. YouTube, Aviz, one word, Answers, one word, same as Facebook. And Twitter, IDs Answers with an E at the end, not an S. And they're one word. So, you're probably wondering why I haven't been doing these like outside or at the mall. That's because YouTube has a new rule where I can't do mobile live videos until I have 100 followers. So, if you like this video, I want to see something else. Tell me, and I'll do my best to cater to what you tell me. If you do like what you see, tell your friends that they might as well. Because because I will, I will gain popularity by your word of mouth. Because if you tell one person, and that person tells 2 people, and those 2 people tell 2 more people, that is 7 people told just because you told one person. So multiply 7 times 5, that's 35 people. If 35 people watch my video and like it, that means, and subscribe, that means I will now have 45. 45, basically, the more you tell people, the more they'll tell people. And then eventually I'll have enough to do mobile live videos. Anyway, bye.